Good morning, everybody. This is Kendra, and I'm coming to you live this morning from my sewing room for our February embroidery club. So I will wait a minute for some people to start jumping on before I jump into all of this. So once you jump on, make sure you comment. Let me know that you're here, where you're watching from. I see Ellen is on this morning. Good morning. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started as people are jumping on because this is going to be recorded. And as you know, with our recorded videos for Embroidery Club, they live right here on the Facebook page. So even if you are not able to catch it right from the very beginning when we go live, it's always recorded so you can go back and you can watch it as many times as you would like. And you can also find these videos on our YouTube channel. So we are on YouTube now. That's really exciting. So just look for us on YouTube, Pine Needles Quilt and Sew PNQS, and you will see all of the videos there as well. So there's quite a few people that are jumping on already, so that's good. So for our February embroidery club, we are going to be doing From the Heart. It's a collection from OESD, and we are going to be making this really cute little heart. I added just a little piece of rickrack on the top to make it into kind of like a little ornament or something to hang. That's totally optional if you want to do that or not. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So make sure if you're watching that you're saying hello and letting me know where you're watching from, because as we have been doing this for a while now, our audience has grown. So we have friends all across the map that like to watch us. So let me know where you're watching from if this is your first time watching, and also, you can share this video if you have other friends that enjoy embroidery and you think that they would like to sew along with us. You can share this video with them as well. Okay, so From the Heart from OESD, this collection, we will not be making the wreath that it shows on here, but we'll be making the hearts that it shows. And then on the back, there's all these different hearts. So you can make all of those, but today we are going to be just choosing one and making that. So what you want to do first is go ahead and open up your kit. So in your kit, you received the design collection, a little spool of red thread, and you also got 2 pieces of white felt. So if you are very careful with your white felt, you can make 2 of them, because you can cut this piece of felt in half if yours is the big like a sheet of paper size, the 8.5 by 11. You can cut it in half. So then you have one piece for your front and then 1 piece for your back. So I was able to get 2 out of mine. Okay, so the first thing that you're going to want to do is open up your CD. We're going to open up that CD, and we are going to put it in our computer, and I'm going to show you how you transfer the designs that we need from the CD onto your USB stick. So I'm going to swing you over here to show you my computer. And then I'm going to zoom you in so you can see the computer. Okay. So I'm just going to open this up, put my CD in there. All right, and then this opens up a window. Let me zoom in just a little bit more so you can see what I got going on here. Okay, so this opens up this window that shows everything that's on the CD. So if you look in here, you'll see a folder that says designs, one that says embroidery, and one that says thread chart. The first thing that you want to do is go ahead and double click on the thread chart, open that up, and there is a PDF in here. So it says 12376. If you double click and open up that PDF, it's going to open this up. And this is our thread chart. Oops, hang on one second. I just tilted the camera the wrong way. So this is our thread chart. And I've already printed mine off, and it looks like this. So all the information is in here on our directions, and it gives you a close-up view of all the different hearts that we can do. And there's also instructions on there on how to make that wreath if you would like to make that wreath as well. Okay, so the heart that we are going to be doing today is down here in the corner. It's the 12376-07. The satin heart. Okay, so that's what we're going to make today. So I'm going to go back to my folder, and then I can just choose this little arrow and go back. And on here, I want to go to Designs. So I can double click and open that up. And here's all the designs that are listed. So you want to look at the designs. This very top one up here on the top, let me it says 12376-01. So if you want to know what that is, 01A, that's this one. So you want to pay attention to those numbers that are right below the heart that you want on your printout, as well as the numbers for each one of these embroidery designs. So like I said, we're looking for 12376-07 for this heart down here. So I'm going to go through, and the other thing is over here under type, you will see what format that embroidery design is. So if you're sewing on a Bernina, they like the EXP formats, even though they will read multiple different formats. I always choose the EXP for my Bernina. If you're sewing on something else, you choose the format that is for your machine. So I'm going to go through over here on the side, and I'm just going to scroll down, and I'm looking for that 1237607. So there's the 2s, here's the 03s, 04s, 05s, 06s, and here's the 07s. So I'm going to find the EXP format, and right here it is. So I'm going to put a little check mark in that box right next to there, if you can see that. And then I'm going to look over on this other side over here because I need to find my USB stick. So let me just move the camera just a little bit so you can see. So I'm going to scroll down here to the bottom, and here's my USB stick right here. So what I would like to do is go ahead and grab this embroidery design, and I can just drag it right over to my USB stick. Drop it in there. It copies everything over. I'm just going to open this up to make sure I see it in there, and right here it is. So I am good, and I can just right click on my USB stick and click eject. And now it tells me that it's safe to go ahead and remove that USB stick. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is take my USB stick and plug it into my machine. Let me move you over here to my machine. I'm going to zoom it in a little bit. I am just watching all these people that say that they are somewhere warm that is watching this morning, and I have to tell you I'm a little jealous. However, it's supposed to be 43 degrees here this weekend, so I'm excited for that. Okay. So I went ahead and I put my USB stick in my machine, and I'm just going to choose that file, and right here is the heart. So let's quick talk about hoops that we are going to be using for today's class. So today I'm going to be using my midi hoop, and I really like to use the midi hoop because of the ratchet system on the bottom. I see Ellen is asking, does it matter what kind of USB stick we use? Ellen, you want to make sure that you're using a USB stick that's formatted for your sewing machine. Some of them, the gigabytes that they hold on the USB stick. Now, I'm not a computer techie person, but sometimes they're a little bit too big and they can not be compatible with the software in your sewing machine. So you want to make sure that you're using one that's formatted for your sewing machine. So Pine Needles does sell the little USB sticks, and let me see, I have one right here. Look at how cute that is. It even says Pine Needles right there on the USB stick. And of course, it has our website and phone number on the back. So these are available at Pine Needles. We can mail them to you, or you can stop in the shop and pick them up. So you want to make sure you're using a USB stick that is formatted for your sewing machines. Okay, so back to hoops. I'm using the midi hoop today. It's a little bit bigger than what we need for this design, and if you don't have the midi hoop, you can use your large oval hoop that came with your embroidery machine. And then over here on the side, let me just zoom in so you can see. Over here on the side, it shows a little hoop on my sewing machine, so I can just touch that. And if I wanted to see if it fits in the medium hoop, I can touch the medium. And you can see that the box turned red around the outside. So it's this heart is a little too big for the medium hoop. So the smallest hoop size that you can use is the oval hoop for this. And like I said, I'm going to be using my midi hoop just because I like the ratchet system. It's just a little bit bigger than the large oval. Okay, so the first thing that we want to do, let me move you back a little bit, is we want to go ahead and cut our stabilizer. And I've already cut a piece of stabilizer for the size of my hoop, and I am just using a medium weight tearaway stabilizer. So I'm going to move you over here. So I can bring you down a little bit. Might have to move these back. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go ahead and hoop my stabilizer, and I'm going to place my hoop onto my master hooper. Let's see if I can move this so you can see what I'm doing. There you go. So I have my hoop placed on my master hooper. I'm going to open it up, take out the inner part of my hoop, and then I'm going to take my medium weight tearaway stabilizer. I'm going to place that in my hoop so it's completely covering, and then I'm going to just pop this inner piece of the hoop right back in. Make sure it's all the way in there, and then I can tighten it down. And you can hear that ratchet system working, and then you just tighten it till it clicks. Then I can take my hoop off of the master hooper. I'm just going to use my thumbs to press that inner hoop to the back side. Give it a little squeeze and make sure it's tightened all the way. So now my stabilizer is all hooped, and I am ready to take this over to my machine. So I'm going to set that over there. But before I go over to my machine, remember I told you I took and I cut my piece of felt in half. So I'm just going to fold it in half, find the center here. That looks about good. Okay. So now I'm going to bring you back over here. Sherry, I love that hoop too. The ratchet is awesome. It's the same as on like the maxi hoop and the jumbo hoop, but just in a smaller size. Okay, so now I have my design all pulled up. It's ready to go. And I'm just going to tell you real quickly about what I have in my machine. So I'm using a red Isacord thread. You can use that red thread that came in your kit. That is a polyester thread, just the same as Isacord. So you can go ahead and use that. In my bobbin, I just have, for right now, the OESD bobbin thread. This is in black, but I have it in white, and that is what is on my bobbin. So I like to use the OESD bobbin thread for my embroidery projects. But I have it in white on my bobbin right now. But you're also going to want to have a bobbin with a little bit of that red thread that you're using through your top needle. You're going to want to have a bobbin with a little bit of that on there as well. So have that handy. And what we're going to do is we're going to take one piece of the felt after I have cut it in half, and we're just going to lay that in our hoop so it's nice and centered in there. And for my needle, I have a Schmetz Gold 7511 embroidery needle. These are the ones that I like to use in my embroidery machine. So that's what I have in my needle. So now I can go ahead and put my hoop on the machine. I'm going to go ahead and touch my needle, let it know that I'm ready to go, and it's going to tell me, wait a minute, you got to wake your machine up first. So I'm going to let it just do its little calibration put the hoop back on, and now I'm ready to begin. So the first thing that we are going to do is we are going to just tack down our felt into our embroidery hoop. So I'll zoom you in so you can see what's happening here. So now I'm ready to go. My light is flashing green, so I'm going to go ahead and tack this down. And my bobbin is threaded and it's all good to go. So in the past, with some of the other designs that we've done, it has stitched out a placement line first right onto the stabilizer. You can do that if you would like to, and then just back it up and stitch this first stitch again, but there's really no need. So let me just show you what it stitched out. There is the outline of the heart that is stitched out right onto my piece of white felt that is on my medium tearaway stabilizer in the hoop. So now the next thing that we are going to do is we're going to go ahead and let it stitch out this decorative design. Everything that you see in blue here, that's what it's going to stitch out. And it's going to take a few minutes for that to stitch out. So I'm going to go ahead and let it go, get it started. Okay. So while that is stitching, I want to tell you about some of our upcoming embroidery classes, and also this would not be a embroidery club event if we did not have some door prizes. So because I wasn't at the shop this week to pick up the door prizes, I don't know what they are, so they're a mystery, but there's 6 of them. So I am going to draw for 6 door prizes throughout the class today, and when you place your order online or you stop in at the shop to see us, we will have a door prize there for you today. The prizes won't be there today, but you'll get drawn for the door prize today, and we'll have them for you to pick up next week. Okay, so I want to show you for our March Embroidery Club that is happening on Friday, March 25th at 10 a.m. It's going to be live here on our Facebook page again. And this one you don't want to miss. It's super cute. It is called Somebody Loves You, and we have all the embroidery already stitched out, and we're just finishing up with the piecing for everything. So what we're going to do for the Embroidery Club is we are going to do this center right here. We're going to give you everything to make the center, and then you'll have some leftover pieces in there to finish everything else up. But it's super cute. It's by Smith Street Designs. It's called Somebody Loves You. Look at how cute those little Easter eggs are. So you can make this either into a wall hanging or a table runner. So you can whip it up real quick right before Easter and have it all ready to go. So that is happening on March 25th at 10 a.m. So the way our embroidery club works for anybody that's brand new is you can stop in at the shop and sign up, or you can sign up online. That gets you into the class, which once you're registered for the class, that also makes you eligible for the door prizes, and then you'll receive the design and you will receive a kit. So that is what you need. I think with this one, you may need a few extra fabrics to complete the kit, depending on what size you want to make. Maybe you don't want to make the whole thing. Maybe you just want to do the center and finish it out. That's fine. So, yeah. Karen is asking, what size hoop does the March class require? So, Karen, that's a great question. I did, when I did the embroidery, I was able to do the whole set, all 4 Easter eggs, in my largest hoop, which was the jumbo hoop or the maxi hoop. You can use those hoops. If you don't have those large hoops, there's also instructions in this pattern to break it down so that you can use a smaller hoop size. So if you don't have a large hoop, don't worry about it. You can still do this. It just is a way of measuring your background fabrics and getting everything hooped up so that you can do these projects in a smaller hoop. So So that's March 25th. And then for April, we are going to be doing this sewing notebook. It's a coloring book cover. So it's super cute. There's a couple different designs on there. You can see the thread and then the dress form back there. So super cute. And on the back, there's also a patchwork version. So you will receive the files to do all 3 of those. And then you're also going to get a package of the neon fabric markers. So that is really fun. And I actually stitched one up just this week. So I used just some scrap fabric that I had laying around, and then my daughter colored it for me. So look at how cute that is. And it's got the little pockets on the inside to put your little notebook right in there. So this is for April. Yes, Celia, the maxi hoop will work for the March class. So April 15th at 10 a.m. is when we are making that little notebook cover. So I hope you guys can join me for those classes as well. Make sure you sign up or stop in at the shop and sign up. So those are going to be really fun. Let's do a drawing for a door prize. So everybody that is registered for today's class, I have your name in a little bucket over here for the door prize. My daughter told me this isn't a little bucket, this is a big bucket. So all your names are in here. So let's do our first door prize. Oh, they're stuck together. So our first winner is Donna Skiba. So congratulations, Donna. We will have a door prize for you. So these designs are super cute. You can see this is the one that we're stitching out right now. And you can make them into anything that you would like. If you wanted to just use the design and put it onto something else, you can do that. You can make them into little pin cushions. You can see on the side of this one, I haven't quite finished it off yet because I wanted to show you. But there's just a little opening in here, so you could open it and you could stuff it with some like fiber fill or something if you wanted to make it puffy, or if you wanted to make a pin cushion and put some crushed walnut seeds in there or something like that, you could do that as well. So there's lots of different ways to use these little hearts. You could make a string of garland if you would like. All different kinds of designs. Okay, let's do, if we have some time, our next mystery door prize winner is Sarah Olsted. So congratulations, Sarah. We'll have a door prize for you as well. I'm just going to scroll through here and see if I missed any questions. So if you have any questions, you can go ahead and type them in the comments and I'll be glad to answer them for you. Or afterwards, I go back through and I read through to make sure that I haven't missed anything. So, and I'll answer it then, just replying to your comment. Kelly is asking, how do you get into the drawing? So everybody that has registered for today's class before the event, they get into the drawings. So, Kelly, if you would like to get into the drawings for next time, make sure you go online to pnqs.net or stop in at the shop if you're local and see us and get signed up for our next month's class. Karen is asking, last month I used a tape to secure the fabric in the hoop. What kind of tape did you use? What kind of tape did I use last month? So there is two kinds of tape that I like to use. and I'm not exactly sure, I don't remember which one I used last month, but OESD has a wash away tape. So anything that's going to be stuck inside your project that you maybe want to use a wash away tape, this could have been what I used. I don't remember for sure. But there is also a tear away tape that is more of a paper based tear away tape. So either the OESD wash away tape or the tear away tape could have been either one of those. And then Karen is asking, what is the advantage of using a duckbill scissors? So let me grab one. So here is a duckbill scissors, and you can see that this scissors does have a nice curve to it with the duckbill. So the advantage of using a duckbill scissors, especially one with a curve in it like this one, is if you are doing some embroidery projects like some applique and you need to trim away the outside like we normally do when we're doing our embroidery classes, you use the duckbill and you put the duckbill part of it, this bigger part, on the bottom part of your project so that you're not like accidentally poking through or cutting something. It's a big flat surface that can just glide along that stabilizer on the bottom or the bottom part of your, maybe you have like a background fabric or something, it can glide along there without like poking and getting in there, because it's harder to poke, you know, this duckbill part through something, but it could be very easy to poke the pointy part through something. And with the curve, it just helps you get it so it lays nice and flat on your embroidery project as you're cutting along. So I hope that answered your question. All these supplies that we need for embroidery, right? Not only are they fun supplies, but they make our job doing embroidery just so much easier. So there's a few minutes left. Let me show you how our heart is coming along over here. See if I can zoom it in to show you. It's stitching along. There's like 6 minutes left. Okay, Celia said when she is doing a placement line on medium weight tearaway stabilizer, it tears most of the time. So you want to be careful whenever you're doing a placement line and you're stitching right on the stabilizer. One thing that I do when I'm starting mine is I slow my machine down all the way. So make it as slow as it will go. And I just watch that to make sure that it's not tearing. So make sure that your machine is going as slow as it will go, and just let it do a couple stitches at a time and get started. Sometimes you just will need to take your finger and just hold, after it stitches a couple times, just hold those stitches down so that it's not pulling that thread and causing it to tear. Okay, let's do another drawing. Our next mystery door prize winner is Lenny Herman. So congratulations, Lenny. You are our next door prize winner. So these questions are good. You guys have been asking lots of really good questions for today. Grab one more thing. here so you can see how it's going. Like 2 minutes left. We'll do another door prize here. The next door prize winner is Barbara Murphy. So congratulations, Barbara. We'll have a door prize for you as well. Almost done. The other thing that these hearts would be good for, if you follow any of the quilted forums or groups on Facebook, there's that challenge that's going around where people are finding like little quilted hearts laying around. So you could make some of these and use those as your quilted hearts too. To just leave in a special little place. Okay, so there is our little heart that it just stitched out with all of that design in there. So now what we're going to do is we are going to take our second piece of our felt from the back side, and what we want to do is flip our hoop over. So now I'm looking at the back side of my hoop, and I'm just going to put that piece of felt on there just like this, and I can use some of that paper tape, the OESD paper tape, and just have a couple pieces here, and I'm just going to tape that into the hoop to hold that felt on the back side of my hoop. And I'll show you that here in just a second. So here's the back side of my hoop, and you can see I have a little piece of tape up here just holding that felt down, and another piece of tape down here. So remember I said you would need a bobbin with a little bit of the red thread on there. So here's my bobbin. So I'm going to go ahead and change my bobbin out because I want my top thread and my bobbin thread to be the exact same. Okay, so now that I have my bobbin changed over to the red thread, I have my hoop all ready with the felt on the back side as well. I can put my hoop down on my machine, attach my hoop again, and then I'm going to go ahead and stitch that final tack down line, which is the tack down line that's attaching the back side to the front. Uh-oh, that didn't sound good. Let's see what happened here. Just gonna double check everything, and I have a little nest of thread in my bobbin area. I just need to clean out real fast. the bobbin area. Make sure we don't have anything to surprise us later. Okay, let's try it again. Well, third time's a charm. Let me check that bobbin one more time to make sure I have it all threaded correctly. Well, I'm not sure what is happening, why it doesn't like this today. Maybe it's just that bobbin. And I'm just going to rethread the top just to make sure. And there it goes. Sometimes it's just as easy as just rethreading everything, and then the machine is happy once again. So I will say, if you were wanting to add this little ribbon or something on the top, before you do this final stitch, that is when you want to make sure that you add that little ribbon in there. So this one, I'm just leaving it as is. I'm making like just a little bit of a coaster, but you can see that it's open here on the side. So if you wanted to stuff it and fill it with something, you still can do that. But then once you get it filled, then you can go ahead and we're just going to do a little triple stitch right on that line to connect the two of them. So I'll show you how to do that. But now you can see on my machine that I already have the checkered flag, so I'm all done with the embroidery. So I can go ahead and take my project out of the hoop. And what I'm going to do now is go ahead and tear the stabilizer away. So again, we were using a medium weight tearaway stabilizer. So just tear all the excess away as much as you can. And I like using the medium weight because it does stay in the center of our little heart to help give it just a little bit of shape. Okay, so here is our heart and everything has been taken out of the hoop. So now what we want to do is we can, I'm going to move you over here, over to my little cutting station. So you can either use a pinking shears and just go ahead and trim on this outside line all the way around, or if you have a little like fluted edge for your rotary cutter, you can use that as well, and you're just going to trim on that outside line all the way around. So I'm going to use my rotary cutter, and I'm just going to carefully cut right on that outside line all the way around. And then when you get to that center where of the heart, you just want to rock it in there so that you get that. And then that's where you want to start to go around for the other side. And if you have to go back in just with a little snips to get anything that, just to clean up anything, you can always do that later. Rock it back this way right into there. That is good. And I just need to grab a little scissors. So I just have one little spot that I just need to clean up right down here on the bottom. It's just hanging on. But there is our heart. You can see it's got the nice little edge all the way around. So now, if we wanted to go ahead and stuff our heart with like some fiber fill or something like that, it's open right here so you can get that fiber fill in there. But then to finish it, we're just going to do a straight stitch. So I'm going to bring you back over here to the machine. And I'm going to go into the home and go over to the sewing side. And I'm going to change that foot. And I'm going to use my number 34D foot for this, which I have right here in front of me. The 34D foot has this clear sole on it, and it's got a little red mark right in the center, so it's easy to follow along. That line. And then I'm going to choose the triple stitch, which is stitch number 6 on my Bernina. And the thing that I like is I can see the stitch and exactly what it's going to stitch out here. And I'm going to just increase that line, because if looking at this, it looks like it's a little bit longer. So I'm going to go to like 3.5 because, so I'm increasing my stitch length to 3.5 because it's a little bit of a longer stitch that it stitched already on the side here. And then I can use my hand wheel to bring my needle down to put it right in the hole where I want it to start. And it's reminding me that, hey, wait a minute, your bobbin is threaded for embroidery and not for sewing, so I just need to quickly change that. Okay, so now we're good to go. Bring my needle down, and it's going to fall right in the hole where I want it to start. All right, so now there I have done my triple stitch along the side and just connected that outer line all the way along. There's just a little thread there that needs to be trimmed up, but otherwise that looks really good. And there is my heart. That is all completed and ready to be made into, like, just leave it as a coaster or put it into a little card or whatever you would like to do with it. So speaking of cards, there are cards that are available from OESD that are embroidery cards. You could do this design on there as well, or you could just do your heart like this and then just stitch around on this outside line all the way around and just stitch it right on the card. That would be really cute, like an applique on the card. So lots of really fun ideas that you can use these for. We have a couple more door prizes to give away. If you have any other questions, make sure you put them in the comments so that I can see. But that is how easy our project is for today. So it's a real fun, fast, and easy project to do. So our next winner is Ellen Gerber. So congratulations, Ellen. We will have a door prize for you also. And our final winner of the day is Jeannie Shannock. So congratulations, Jeannie. We will have a door prize for you as well. So I hope you guys learned something today and had fun sewing along with me. If you have any other questions, go ahead, type them in the comments. I'll be sure to watch for them, and I'll come back and answer those. And if any of the products that you saw me use today, you think that you would like to add them into your collection at home, you can shop for them right from home at pnqs.net. You can go in there and you can see all of the fun products that I use today will be listed right there as well. Again, if you have any other questions, please let me know. Otherwise, I hope to see all of you next month. Again, that's March 25th at 10 a.m. where we are going to do Somebody Loves You by Smith Street Designs. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Hope to see you guys then.